Mark Haynes doing stuff. And we're here in Alaska. Next stop on the cruise ship. And this little town behind me is called Ketchikan, Alaska. So that's where we're at today. Got a little walking tour planned, so stay tuned. I'd like that. Bear tours.
Okay.
Souvenir shop. Gonna check this out.
You can put them in here.
Clip-on earrings.
So I want to welcome us to our first stop on the tour, and this here is Hopkins Alley. And the first thing I want to point out to you is going to be the wood under our feet. Now this wood that we're walking on here is western hemlock wood, and western hemlock trees make up about 70% of our Tongass National Rainforest. So that's most of the trees you see along our mountainsides here throughout Southeast Alaska. As for the other conifer trees, we also have Sitka spruce and our cedar trees, shore pine, but not much for fir trees in our Ketchikan area. And as for the deciduous, the hardwoods, we have red alder being our most common. We also have black cottonwood, willows, crab apples, mountain ash, and more. But as for why we're walking on western hemlock wood here on this road, and this is a road, believe it or not, this was actually the front road here in Ketchikan way back when, before they had Water Street, the paved one out here. You can see for this wooden road, it is built right over top of the water. And that's how most of downtown Ketchikan is built, right over top of the original coastline of this area. And as for why they decided to build most of the city going over top of the water, well, for the first permanent settlers to this region, they are mainly of Norwegian descendants, and they established the Ketchikan community in the 1880s. And when they first moved here, they could only build their homes right above the tide line and the steeples behind them. More and more people came here for the fishing, and Ketchikan was also incorporated as the first city in Alaska in the year 1900, and of course more and more people coming here later on for mining and logging and whatnot. And as we're walking along, and you look out to your right, you can see what it looks like underneath.
Yeah, that's up there.
Goes all the way up to the house at the top with the yellow door if you can't see it. And what you might be able to also see cutting in about halfway through is Baby Street with even more steps going even further up the hill. And the reason for all these street stairs, because these aren't the only two we have here in Ketchikan, the reason for them is that they were here before we had all the nice roads and driveways that go to most of the homes on the hills nowadays. Because back then, these stairs were the closest thing you had to a driveway, and that meant you had to carry up all your building material, all your furniture, your groceries, and your kids all up these stairs. It was originally made in order to help accommodate heavy logging machinery and trailer homes for all the loggermen that were coming here to Ketchikan. Because from the 50s up into the 90s, logging was our #1 industry here.
Rain City.
Common misconception. If you are familiar with the phrase, low man on the totem pole, forget it. It's irrelevant to our family, at least, because for us, it doesn't tend to matter a whole lot where you might put a figure on a pole value-wise, because the figure in the middle, well, it could still have the same amount of value as the figures both above it and below it on that same pole. And at least for us, wherever a figure was on the pole, typically was just how that particular one was commissioned. Back in the day, clearing outside of...
Totem pole made by Chief Johnson. So this used to be a brothel here. So there are some seals here in this little bay here.
You might be able to see some maiden fur. But we'll keep walking here. Gonna huddle the railing. So you can see for these ones, this is your salmonberry. And as you're walking along here, take a look up here, you might be able to see a bush with a bunch of red berries. That is a great big red huckleberry bush. And for this one, this is edible if you can reach it.
Right there. Welcome to Ketchikan, Alaska, the 4th largest city in Alaska, with one public high school, a graduating class of about 100 people. So that's a big city for Alaska.